The day will come when the digital brains that live inside our computers will become as good and even better than our own biological brains. Computers will become smarter than us. We call such an AI an AGI.
So that was Ilya Sutskever, co-founder and chief scientist of OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. Ilya is one of the best computer scientists alive. He's also one of the most cited. He completed his PhD at the University of Toronto, postdoc Stanford, and he was a research scientist at Google before co-founding OpenAI in early 2016. The clip that we just saw was him giving a TED Talk. It was recorded in late 2023. In that TED Talk, Ilya talks about AI, more specifically, AGI. What is AGI?
Artificial General Intelligence, AGI, a computer system that can do any job or any task that a human does, but only better.
That clip and the following clips were all derived from The Guardian. Ilya spoke to them prior to the launch of ChatGPT. So although these clips are a little bit old, perhaps 3 or 2 years old, I think they are interesting and good to see so that we can get a little bit of a perspective behind OpenAI, behind the mind of OpenAI. Ilya goes on to talk about the correlations between biology and artificial intelligence. He talks about the, quote, simplicity of biology when it comes to Darwin's theory of evolution. He parallels that with the creation of AI. He then moves on to speak about what the world could look like when the first AGI comes about, and he expresses precautions that should be taken, and his concluding sentence is peculiar, perhaps.
I feel that technology is a force of nature. I feel like there is a lot of similarity between technology and biological evolution. It is very easy to understand how biological evolution works. You have mutations, you have natural selections, you keep the good ones, the ones that survive. And just through this process, you're going to have huge complexity in your organisms. We cannot understand how the human body works because we understand evolution, but we understand the process more or less. And I think machine learning is in a similar state right now, especially deep learning. We have a very simple rule that takes the information from the data and puts it into the model. And we just keep repeating this process. And as a result of this process, the complexity from the data gets transferred into the complexity of the model. So the resulting model is really complex, and we don't really know exactly how it works. You need to investigate. But the algorithm that did it is very simple. There is a real sense in which we are creating something very different from anything we've created so far. Yeah, I mean, we definitely will be able to create completely autonomous beings with their own goals. And it will be very important, especially as these beings become much smarter than humans. It's going to be important to have these beings, the goals of these beings be aligned with our goals. There is some probability the AGI is going to happen pretty soon. There's also some probability it's going to take much longer. But my position is that the probability that AGI could happen soon is high enough that we should take it seriously. The very first AGIs will be basically very, very large data centers, packed with specialized neural network processors working in parallel. Compact, hot, power-hungry package, consuming like 10 million homes worth of energy. You're gonna see dramatically more intelligent systems. And I think it's highly likely that those systems will have completely astronomical impact on society. Will humans actually benefit? And who will benefit, who will not? The beliefs and desires of the first AGIs will be extremely important. And so it's important to program them correctly. I think that if this is not done, then the nature of evolution, of natural selection, favor those systems, prioritize their own survival above all else. It's not that it's going to actively hate humans and want to harm them, but it is going to be too powerful. And I think a good analogy would be the way humans treat animals. It's not that we hate animals. I think humans love animals and have a lot of affection for them. But when the time comes to build a highway between two cities, we are not asking the animals for permission. We just do it because it's important for us. And I think by default, that's the kind of relationship that's going to be between us and AGIs which are truly autonomous and operating on their own behalf. Many machine learning experts, people who are very knowledgeable and very experienced, have a lot of skepticism about AGI. About when it could happen and about whether it could happen at all. Right now, this is something that just not that many people have realized yet. That the speed of computers for neural networks, for AI, are going to become maybe 100,000 times faster in a small number of years. If you have an arms race dynamics between multiple teams trying to build the AGI first, they will have less time and make sure that the AGI that they will build will care deeply for humans. Because the way I imagine it is that there is an avalanche. Like there is an avalanche of AGI development. Imagine you have this huge, unstoppable force. And I think it's pretty likely the entire surface of the Earth will be covered with solar panels and data centers. Given these kinds of concerns, it will be important that the AGI is somehow built as a cooperation between multiple countries. The future is going to be good for the AIs regardless. It would be nice if it were good for humans as well.